if we really stripped away the opinions and the pressures from others, and we chose to tune in to ourselves, what would we be doing? What would we be creating? What businesses would we be starting? What ventures would we be going on? What career path would we choose and forge and start taking? How would we be spending our time? And then on the flip side of that question, what would we not be doing? What business would we not be starting? What venture would we not be participating in? What career path would we not choose? How would we not be spending our time? Who would we not be spending our time with? I'm someone who's very conscious of how I make other people feel and how other people are feeling. And this is most definitely to a fault, to the point where I will find myself saying things I don't even truly mean just to not ruffle any feathers, just so people feel comfortable. And I might even stay in situations longer than I know I should just because I don't want to upset someone else. This is something, I guess you'd call it people pleasing in a way. It's something that I've been really working on because it's something I don't want to be anymore. I don't want to be this person who is agreeable, this person who has a hard time speaking what I'm actually feeling or thinking in certain situations just because of fear of how someone else might feel. It doesn't mean I have to say it in a rude way or say it in a degrading way or say it in a way that would hurt their feelings at all, but I'm just so sensitive to how other people feel, especially after interacting with me, that it's been a struggle of mine to really be the person who speaks my mind and speaks really what I'm thinking in a nice way, but just not worry so much about what the other person could potentially be feeling or thinking if I don't agree or if I don't do things the way that they would do things. So this is something that I've been very conscious about trying to work through and get rid of over the past year. And I just had an experience the other day where I walked away from it and I went, oh my gosh, I didn't do my people-pleasing tendency today in a situation where typically I would have. And I was so proud of myself when I told my husband, I was like, did you notice that? Because he was with me. I'm like, did you see what I just didn't do? I'm not going to go into details about the story, but I do actually on the podcast, which if you don't know, I have a podcast called Taking Life Offline, and I'll leave a link to it in the description to this episode. But if you wanted to hear more details on the story and more details in general just about the topics I talk about here on YouTube, then you'll love the podcast. Plus, it's not on social media. So if you're someone who's trying to spend less time on YouTube or less time on social media in general and trying to figure out how to live your life more offline, then you'll love the podcast. And it's a great option for you to stay in these conversations without having to be on social media. But anyways, I got kind of sidetracked. But I was saying that I was telling my husband, I'm like, did you notice what I just didn't do? I was so proud that I didn't say the things or act in a way that I would typically act to try to make this person feel comfortable. Even if it would make me uncomfortable, I would still say the things to make sure that they felt comfortable. And I didn't do it this time, and I was so proud of myself to see how far I'm coming as I'm actively being intentional about working through this tendency. But this experience, even though it was seemingly something super small, but was really big for me, it had me thinking about what things do we not do because of other people's opinions or other people's desires for us? What if we stripped all of that away and we got super focused on what we wanted and how we wanted without feeling like we have to be pleasing these people or keeping anyone else happy? What would we be doing or what would we not be doing? This is our life. Each of us individually, we get to decide how we're going to show up, who we want to become, and what is actually really important to us. It's also our choice if we're going to be willing to let other people dictate our choices or influence our projects, influence the actions that we take or don't take based off of fear of keeping someone happy or doing things that are pleasing to them. Do you feel good about the way that you're showing up for you? Or are you trying to keep other people happy, and in doing so, you're failing to give your desires, your dreams, your beliefs the attention that they deserve? Because this is your life. It's yours. It's not theirs. Their life is theirs. And I could just be totally speaking to myself here, but I'm just kind of sharing my thoughts on what's been going through my mind since having this little experience the other day. But I have to ask, what would you be doing? Who would you be if you stripped away the opinions and the desires for you from other people? What if you tuned into you and what you really want? And what you want could be anything. It could be being the most present parent on the face of the earth who raises up super confident and super self-assured children. Or it could be to have no children at all, if that's the path that you feel is best for you. It could be the business that you want to start that's going to be just small and maybe not ever grow to scale, because that's not your dream, that's not your desire. It's just to have a little side cash and to have a little bit more fulfillment in that way and exercising your creativity. Or it could be to build the biggest business in the world. Or it could be to be the best spouse who's super supportive and who communicates really well and who has lots of excitement in your relationship. Or it could be to be single forever because you don't want to be married. Whatever it is for you, what do you want? It's really easy in today's world to get caught up in who we think we should be, or what we feel like we should be doing based off of what everyone else online seems to be doing that seems to be bringing these types of feelings to them, or maybe based off of pressure from loved ones. So with that, my challenge for you today is to tune into you. There's a huge show playing right now, and it is called Your Life, and it is starring you. It's just waiting for you to unplug and tune in. So as you tune in to complete this challenge, what are your desires for your life without any of the voices, any of the pressures, any of the influence from what's going on around us in the world? Just tune into you and figure out, what are your desires? What do you want for your life? What do you want to be doing? Who do you want to be? And then take the first step into action towards embodying that person, towards doing that thing, towards figuring out how to start building this for your life. I challenge you today to start unapologetically living your life how you want to, for you, regardless of what anybody else seems to be doing in their life. You don't need permission. None of us needs permission. We just need to believe in ourselves and trust ourselves and take new action and then pivot wherever needed as we go. So to my ever deserving of everything that you desire for your life, my friend, here's to living our lives in a way that feels good to us individually, that feels best for us, regardless of what anybody else seems to be doing in theirs. This is our life, and this is a big deal. So let's make sure we prioritize that and we treat it as the wonderful gift that it is. I hope this video encourages and inspires you to get active in the details of your life, whatever that looks like for you. And I will catch you next Monday.